We have an update on the ceasefire. The Israel ceasefire sparked chaos as Palestinians threw rocks during prisoner exchanges. At CNN fumed that Trump pulled off the deal. Meanwhile, Democrats dodge basic questions about Hamas.
What strikes you about these confrontations is the complete lack of fear. We're here on the West Bank waiting for Palestinian prisoners to be released, and here's what we see. Below us, Offa Prison, Israel's notoriously tough jail. Around us, Palestinian youths curious about what's going to happen next. And above, an IDF drone dropping leaflets warning people there'll be harsh punishments if they're seen to endorse terror groups. There's a sudden rush around us. Stones are being hurled at a military vehicle that's slowly driving along the road below. The vehicle is safe, it's protected by heavy armour, but it responds, scattering the crowd. What strikes you about these confrontations is the complete lack of fear. These Palestinian youths are throwing volleys of stones down there at that Israeli military vehicle, and they're getting tear gas and stun grenades coming in the other direction, and yet they just keep going.
Look at those little criminals as they're releasing all the prisoners. My favorite thing was like, they'll show some video of some guy running into like his wife's arms. They're like, Israel captured him and he's finally released. And it turns out he like literally bombed a school bus with like 6 kids in it. And that's who they're excited. But yeah, no, the kids are great. They're throwing rocks. Just a bunch of future doctors and lawyers. That looks so beautiful. They should just, take over Israel so it can all look like that. What a better life. Am I right? So the Palestinians they're not too happy about the ceasefire.
People told me thanks Trump for the ceasefire. Let's thank him in the right way. Thank you for giving the IDF billions of dollars to defend themselves from our children. Thank you for using the veto not once, 10 times to make sure the bombs falling for us. Veto. Thank you for sending smart muscle. It's so smart. Always find their way to our children. Thank you for calling it self-defense. I didn't know defense mean bombing school and hospitals. And thank you for your silence. It's so louder than any exploitation we hear.
For people who, I don't know, their whole lives revolve around, murder and war and electing these terrorist groups as leaders, and then they're the first people to act like they have no idea where this came from, and everyone's just attacking them, and they're so innocent. I'm like, the video before is like literally the kids are like throwing rocks. They're probably going home and being like, I threw rocks at the Jews and Israel and all that. And I'm just like, the constant way of them acting. Okay, so it. What do you want then? What do you want? Okay, so you're not happy. The damage is done. Hey, that's war. Name me one war in history where afterwards things were better built and they were more beautiful and there was no damage. That's war. That's what happens when you guys go and you slaughter innocent people and you're a little, outnumbered with machines and technology and support and all that. That's what happens. It's war. I'm sorry you don't like that. You should maybe rethink about your leadership there, but they're very quick to play the victim. I'm not buying the bullshit over here, but that's just me. CNN is upset because they actually had to admit that Trump pulled it off.
And if President Trump is able to do this, it's a major victory for him.
Look, it is challenging to actually hear that piece of, Trump potentially being the one to get the ceasefire deal. But I think what we are seeing now is that a lot of people are tired of the devastation that's happening to the Palestinian people. And so how do we figure out a path forward? And so I would be interested to understand President Trump's interest in this, because he has said some things that are very harmful to the Palestinian people. I don't know, what his motivations are.
He wants the war to end. He wants
the war. That's what he wants.
I don't think he wants the war to end for a lot of reasons. Some of them are personal reasons. He wants that Nobel Peace Prize. Some of them are that I do think that whatever you think of Trump, he does not like the idea of all the death and destruction. But
like, what do you mean? Like, he ran campaigns on we don't want to be in war. We don't want to be in war with Ukraine. We don't want to be in war with Palestine. We don't want to be in any wars. Also, Scott Jennings is just like, he is literally my favorite person. The way he could just sit there and just listen to all these idiots talking. I'm shocked they have him because every week I see clips of him and he's just destroying Democrat after Democrat. And I'm like, I'm kind of shocked they don't put people on that are a little bit more on his level. I mean, you'd think he's like the most right-wing guy. He's so funny. He's just like sitting there just like everything these people are saying is so stupid. Like what well, I don't think he likes the Palestinians. Yeah, none of us do. No other countries want them either. Why don't you go look up the wall Egypt built and get back to me on how many people are just loving these Palestinians that are coming in? Sorry, he's not the only one. Zoran can't answer the question, should Hamas give up their weapons?
Into one that's affordable for each and every New Yorker.
But, okay, I want to get to that, absolutely. But do you believe that Hamas should lay down their weapons and leave the leadership in Gaza?
I believe that any future here in New York City is one that we have to make sure that's affordable for all. And as it pertains to Israel and Palestine, that we have to ensure that there is peace. And that is the future that we have to fight for.
But you won't say that Hamas should lay down their arms and give up leadership in Gaza.
I don't really have opinions about the future of Hamas and Israel beyond the question of justice and safety and the fact that anything has to abide by international law. And that applies to Hamas, that applies to the Israeli military, applies to anyone you could ask me about.
Okay. One last thought on that. You have said that you would arrest Netanyahu if he came to the United States. You've been very outspoken.
Everything he's been talking about since he started his campaign is he's never talking about New York. He's never talking about America. He has been talking about Palestine and the Palestinians and Hamas. He literally won't tell them to put their weapons down. He doesn't want to lose his pro-Hamas fan base, which is insane. That's someone that could be running New York. And on top of that, he has mentioned multiple times that he believes in banning all guns. Okay? So I'm like, this is the guy? What happened? What happened? I don't understand what happened. We got to the point where this guy is potentially going to win. New York, I genuinely pray for you. If you guys didn't vote, I really hope this is the first time you do. So no, he won't say that Hamas should give up weapons. But he's made 1 million comments about Palestine and the Middle East. But then when he's pressured on that, he's like, I don't care what happens over there. He's full of shit. He's a very good liar. Most of them are very good liars. Not even, though, because we have screenshots of everything he said.